What if you possessed real creative and destructive powers? What would you do with it? Would you create things, bring things into existence, or would you break things, take things down, tear things down? It's an interesting exercise that I think we should put ourselves through daily. What would you do with real creative power, real power? What would you do with it? The fact is, the spoken word is one of the most powerful tools for creation or destruction that we carry. Whenever we speak, we are literally making the path that we and those around us will be walking on. Here's an interesting thought. If you had to give an account for every careless word you've ever spoken and your life depended on it, would that change how you speak at all? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Those who love it will eat its fruit. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Speak life in all that you do, and then watch it go forth. So that was the Instagram post that we made on a Sunday in June 9th, I think. What I wanted to think about, what caused me to think about that is, as I go through the creative process of things, sometimes I stop back and I think, okay, what caused that idea? Where did that idea come from? When I have a good idea, what was I doing then that caused that idea? Sometimes I'm in slumps, I'm like in a slump or a rut. I can't get any good ideas. Okay, so I stop. What's going on? How come no ideas are coming? So I just kind of think about the creative process a lot. And I think a lot of you guys probably do too. That led me into being creative or being destructive. What am I doing with my life and my time? Am I being creative with my time or am I being destructive? Am I looking at being negative and tearing things down a lot? Or am I thinking about how to make things better? And so I was kind of looking at the creative process of life and how I approach things, and that's what led to that thought. And it kind of dawned on me that I believe everyone's creative. I think everyone on earth is creative. They're just creative in different ways. Not everyone can paint or draw or take a picture, but everyone's creative at something. And a lot of times it's just coming down to what is that thing. If we realize that we all carry an amazing superpower to create something or to break something, what would we do with it? And then it dawned on me, we all have that. Our words are probably the most important and powerful tool that we have that can create or that can tear down, that can destruct things. In thinking about that, I thought, man, do I say a lot of I can't or I don't in life? Or do I say a lot of you can't and you don't in life? When I'm talking to my kids, like that, when I kind of came up with that idea and I wrote it down, I thought, man, I've got to be careful with how do I talk to my kids. Do I want to teach them with fear or teach them with life? Guide them with fear or guide them with life? And I mean, do I want to tell them a lot of times, no, you can't do that, or no, as opposed to don't do something? Maybe I can talk about the reasons why we would want to do it and why we wouldn't want to do it and help them make it a good decision on it without putting fear in their minds or without putting doubt in their minds. Are we constantly using doubt in our words? Because what that's going to do is that's going to set the stage for how we're going to walk through life. If I'm always saying I can't do something, I'm never going to be able to do that thing because in my mind I've taught myself that I can't do it. And it's like your words create invisible barriers, or they unlock invisible barriers. They open up invisible barriers by saying I can do something, I can do this. So what got me thinking is if I had to stop and write out every word I said in a day, I wonder how many times it would be positive and how many times it would be negative. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, I actually am giving an account for every word that I'm speaking because my life is showing it. What I'm walking through in life now is based on something I said yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. That's how it works. You've seen those experiments, and scientists have talked about this. Well, they'll have two plants, and one will speak to a plant something positive and life-giving, and one will speak to a plant something that, that's death. And they'll say that the plants actually respond to that, which is mind-blowing. It's crazy to think about. But the idea is your words are the most powerful, positive or destructive force that we possess. It is literally like a superpower that we have. We have to speak things into existence, or we're speaking death out there. And that's what I'm talking about when you speak life and watch it go forth, and then you can walk that out. Our words shape our outcome. We're actually planting things with our words that we're going to end up eating later on. And I don't mean like the physical, but I mean the things that we say, we are going to pay for that, whether it's good or bad. So we're going to find successes or find defeats based on how we talk in life. And that's why I want to think, even as business owners, or even deeper as parents, because that's so much more important, is how are we talking with our kids? How do we talk to our kids? Am I letting my kids hear me say that I can't do something or I'm not capable of something? They're going to think of them not being capable either. Am I constantly telling them that they're not capable of something, or Or do I tell them they shouldn't do something based on some sort of fear attached to it? Don't walk in the street or a car's gonna kill you. Man, that's awful. I could say that in a different way. That doesn't put fear and doubt and scary stuff in their minds, because we don't want doubt to rule our life. We don't want doubt to be what guides our thoughts and our actions. Because if doubt is what guides your thoughts and actions, you're never gonna take a risk in life. And all the great things in life happen because you take a risk, but they also happen because of how you spoke it and how you talked about it. You think about someone in your life, I know you know somebody, whether it's you or somebody else, you know somebody that's always sick. They're always in and out of the hospital. They're always dealing with a leg injury. Their back's always hurting. You think about those people and then start to really dial in how they talk and how they speak. I promise you, they're always gonna be talking about how bad they feel. Always. You're somebody that is healthy and vibrant and never an injury. You don't hear them talking about injuries. And I wonder if that's just the key, because they're not talking about it. They're not getting stuck in that idea, in those thoughts, in how they talk. And because how we talk, how we speak, we're gonna walk that out. That is the account. Your life, it is the accounting, the real accounting of your words. Your successes, your defeats, the things that you're going through, that's the account of your words. So if you're going through stuff that just sucks all the time, or if you're in a situation right now that is no good, stop, take a step back, and think about how you speak. And only talk about positive, life-giving things. Only talk about solutions and not problems. When I'm developing a new product or a new idea, sometimes there are ideas that I'm not seeing out there in the world, or I haven't seen anyone do. So I protect those ideas. I don't talk about those ideas to a lot of people, because a lot of times you're met with, people like to see something new and they try to poke holes through it. And so I protect my ideas that way. Sometimes if it's something I'm not seeing somewhere, I won't talk about it to anyone until I get it out there, because I don't want their negative words to affect what I'm working on. When someone is around you constantly speaking something negative, that's going to affect your path. So you know what? Either don't talk to them, get them out of your life, or only share certain things with them so their negative words aren't going to affect you and affect your outcome. But also, how are you speaking in the situation that you're in? So if you're constantly in a pattern of losing, or stuff is happening, you're not feeling good, you're always sick, you're always doing something, what are you talking? How are you saying things? What are those people around you? How are they talking around you? What are they saying? Because here's the deal. If you're around a bunch of people that are always hating on things, you're one of those things. That's how it works. See, our words plant seeds of life or destruction, creativity or destruction, and that works for what we're doing. It also works for those around us. So if we're talking negative towards someone, sometimes that comes into play in their life. And so I think about this as a shackle or a boat anchor. Are my words being a boat anchor to me, or are they not? Are other people a boat anchor to me, or are they not? So when I was talking about the ideas, sometimes I don't share my ideas because I don't want to hear the negative feedback. I don't want to see someone poking holes in it before I've even got it out there. Because I can poke all the holes I want, but when other people start poking a lot of holes, sometimes that will distract me from the vision at hand. So I think about this as sometimes people are boat anchors. And so who is a boat anchor? What is a boat anchor? It's someone that's around you that's always talking about how you can't do something. Or they're always talking about how you're not capable, or whatever it is. Their words aren't giving you life, but they're weighing you down. And that's what happens. Our words can weigh us down. Our words can weigh other people down, especially within our children. So let's not be boat anchors in life, but also let's not be around boat anchors. That's vitally important, to not surround ourselves with people that are constantly speaking negative stuff. But also, we don't want to be that person speaking negative stuff. Like, I want my kid to look at life and think, man, I can do this. I can achieve something if I fight for it. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to walk across the street and get hit by a car. I don't want that thought to be in my kid's mind. Now, I don't want my kid to go play in the street, so I got to think about that. How can I be creative with my words to think about, let me present them options without saying, if you do something really bad will happen. I want them to be bound by faith and belief, not bound by doubt and fear. So don't be a boat anchor in life, and don't surround yourself with boat anchors. At the end of the day, our life is the accounting of our words. So where are we going with it? You need to realize that we all have a creative power. We all have a destructive power. And I like to see this, and it's silly, I know. I see this as a superpower. We all have a superpower. How are we going to use it? What are we going to do with it? And I sit back and think about this often, like, if I were Superman, what powers would I want? And that seems silly. I get it. It seems silly. But I think it helps me to reset my focus and my thinking where I'm at in life. If I had a power, what would I do with it? How would I act with it? And sometimes that kind of brings me back into the simple, fun things in life. I know it's silly, but that's just kind of how I do it. So how are we talking and how are we going through life? Let's do this. Let's just speak life into existence and then watch it go forth.